All right, ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the Hank Russell Invitation. I am your host, Hank Russell. Tonight, got a pretty special guest tonight, man. Like, I have been really covering very closely with this sport since its inception, which is, I didn't watch the first one, but I definitely covered, but then I watched the replay of the first one, and I've been watching everyone since the second one. Ladies and gentlemen, power slap competitor, my man, Mr. Duane Iron Giant Crespo Jr. What's happening, man?
Hey, how you doing? Thanks for having me, man.
Man, how you doing, man? Like, how you recovered, man? Just elephant in the room.
Uh, I'm doing good. I feel great.
I just wanted to knock that one out the way because I felt bad. I felt bad, and the only I don't know. It's just like dude went viral for asking did he go sort of thing, trying to be a comedian.
Yeah. No, it's such a funny thing being like in the high level of sports because like good or bad, like it's gonna be out there.
I know it.
So like yeah, I lost this one. Usually goes my way. This time it didn't, but yeah, now it's just there's videos out there for everyone to see, and there's been good ones and bad ones,
Yeah. But look
Yeah.
at it this way: they did have a video where it looked that made it funny when it looked like you warped his eye on his cheekbone.
Yeah.
So that's kind of funny. So at least you got your licks in. At least you weren't on the receiving end of a coin toss, and then
Yeah. No, it's good. It was a good match with him. He's obviously a very tough dude. Um, I even like the video that they posted of like him and his showmanship. Like, hey, did he get hit yet? And I
yeah,
like it because I won that round. So
yes,
like to me, I was like, it didn't really matter what you say to the camera. I still won that round. So I was
you
like, all right,
did, you did
yeah.
very good. So tell me about what's going on in the future here. You said you're like I've been hearing about this full contact promotions, and I have interviewed several people that are going to be on the card. So many I can't remember the names now, unless you just like drop some. But and you're the what are you, the color commentator?
Yeah, yeah. So
I was about to say, man, fighters don't need to be lead commentators. We need them to analyze.
yeah, I like going into commentary. Can't fight forever, so I'm trying to like find like my roots and everything. Still staying in the fight world because obviously I
Mm-hmm.
love the fight world,
Sure.
and commentary is just so much fun. You get great seats, and you can pretty much say what people are thinking, back home. So
It's funny you mentioned that because I was actually a broadcaster first, but I competed in the late 2000s. So technically my first love was doing commentary, but I got into the combat side, in the late 2000s. So I am fortunate that I didn't take enough damage that I could do it. I mean, when I hear some of these guys that do it like Cormier and Bisping and all them, it's amazing the hard shots they took and the knee replacements and the sagging eye. Bisping's got that lazy eye and he has to wear that contact lens. I don't know if you're familiar with that or not.
yeah, I am. Yeah.
And it's just amazing that they have the sharpness to be able to do color commentary. So it's great.
I just think it's like when to step away. Like I know there will be a point if I kept doing all I do MMA, boxing, slap.
Mm-hmm.
If I kept doing it for years, I'm gonna be on the wrong side of the speech.
Yeah.
But can't do everything forever, and
Mhm.
I want to be able to like talk to my daughter.
Yeah. And
Yeah,
how old are you?
I'm 31.
Yeah. So you're relatively
Yeah,
young.
yeah,
Yeah, you're relatively young. So that's fine. I mean, I've seen, I forgot who it was that fought on the last card. He was 41 years old, but he had a pretty good showing up until he got defeated, of course. And I'm 41 years old. So it's like, I don't know. It's just, that competitive side kind of came out for a second. I was like, he's this guy's 41 years old. Maybe I should try power slap. I was like, no, I'm good. I don't think I should. I don't know that. Man, I admire what y'all do. I really do. I mean, I kid about it, but I admire the fact that, you're giving receipts to each other and you can't really retaliate in the unorthodox way.
yeah. I imagine so. Like to the on paper, like to like the eye, it's like no defense, so it kind of looks kind of weird, but there's more to it. Obviously, like we're all
Mm-hmm.
athletes. Most of us have professional combat background,
Yes.
so Like to us, it's just like every day. And honestly, slap is the easiest of all of them. I get more damage in Muay Thai or boxing than I ever do in slap. So
Right. And you've been around the block a few times. I mean, you fought Damien DeBell, what, a year and a half ago or 2 years ago?
almost three, yeah, almost 3 years ago.
Yeah, exactly. So I mean, you've been around. You know how it is. I mean, it's sometimes your best defense is basically just trying to is have the ability to be proactive about being able to take a shot.
Yeah. I mean, yeah, I guess like it'd be like that in different sports, but like every time I hear like the no defense thing, I like to ask the same question. I was like, what do you count as defense? Because like in kickboxing, if I was to block like this,
Right.
I'm still getting hit in the head pretty hard.
Mm-hmm.
But if I'm like composed, I'm obviously blocking great. So they're both defending, but one isn't really, great. So like, what would you call defense at the end of the day?
Exactly.
Yeah.
And it makes sense because, I mean, defense also, I mean, there is, like I said, preparation. Like when I heard about Anthony Blackburn and his supposed 18-inch neck he had developed before his right before his previous bout at the end of June,
Mhm.
I was just thinking to myself, okay, that's the type of, like, for this sport, that seems like the most logical way to prep on defense is just kind of make sure that you're tough enough to be able to take it.
Sure, yeah, there's always like the mental part to it, and then obviously like there's a lot of technique to defense that people don't know yet, and so like they always go into like training like just their neck, whatever, because like everyone thinks whiplash.
Right.
But there's so much to it. It comes down to
Mhm.
stance. Just like I said, like if I was to block a head kick like this,
Yeah.
it's a bad position. We have bad positions here in slap too.
And I'm glad you're explaining all this because even though I've been watching it since pretty much the inception of the sport, on from the TKO organization,
Hmm.
bringing it out, I am still ignorant to some of the rules, strategies. Like, I competed in combat sports, so I have a little bit of knowledge. I didn't go pro or anything like that, but I have knowledge. But with this, I don't think I've ever let anybody willingly slap me before, and I just don't know how I could really strategize for slapping or for be on the receiving end of a slap. See, so that's one of the reasons why I like talking to you guys.
Yep. No, I get it, and there's obviously a lot to it, and never have to go into crazy detail. But I could always just say like this one concept alone. So like you've done combat experience before, you know how hard is it to hit like a target in general? Just
Mm-hmm.
like everything you got to hit a target. Now the target is a lot smaller. It's about this inch like
Mm-hmm.
margin of error. Most likely people are just gonna miss. Period. So like if I was to do defense, and this is the only spot that you could hit,
Mm-hmm.
if I don't move at all, slightly, you're most likely going to miss the target alone
Yeah.
without me doing anything in particular. So uh, it just shows like kind of like the skill aspect that no one sees because like obviously like it's like golf, like small target, super small target, smooth swing, you hit the ball. If you don't and you try to put everything into it, you're gonna miss completely. So
What is clubbing?
clubbing is just anywhere that's outside of the target area. So if the target area is just my palm here, too high would be clubbing. My nose would be clubbing, forehead, neck, and then leading with my palm would also be clubbing. So everything has to land at the same time in the small zone that we have.
I'm glad you explained that. And
Yeah.
I will ask that question to almost every
Yeah.
power slap fighter, not because I haven't heard it before, but because the audience out there may not understand that there is more strategy in this than you give credit for.
Yeah, that's why I like talking about it too. Is because like I'm known as in multiple sports as just the IQ guy. Like I've taught Muay Thai, I
Yes.
teach slap, I teach all that, and I love diving into the IQ part of combat.
Right.
Um, you see the sport, you don't think IQ, but then you talk to me, you're like, oh, that makes sense. That's fun. That's interesting.
Yeah.
And so like I like answering questions.
No, and I appreciate that because I've looked you up extensively over the past year. That being said, when Millions, I didn't know that Millions, I think I'm literally like one of the first on millions.co to actually feature a power slapper. And that was when I interviewed Anthony Blackburn 6 weeks ago. So I've really wanted to interview somebody like you all this time, but I didn't know how. I didn't know how the millions would perceive it. Like I was still kind of relatively new at millions at the time.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, and I'm glad that we're here now.
Man, you have no idea how glad I am to meet you, man. Like I've loved meeting all you guys. Like I was telling you off camera, I hope to meet all you guys. And I'm in Memphis, Tennessee. I was this close to trying to go to New Orleans, but then they sold those tickets a little bit out of my price range.
Yeah, they had the cool general admission ones. They're the cheaper, but they sell out pretty quick.
I wouldn't have had a problem with that. The only problem I would have had is with getting to it. So,
Oh yeah, absolutely.
and
But New Orleans, that card was a lot of fun as a fighter. Like that was probably my favorite crowd out of everything I've ever done, and so like even like Dirty Boxing on UFC Fight Pass, anything that crowd in New Orleans was like really nice.
Yeah. And where are you from, by the way?
So I'm from New Jersey, but I'm currently in upstate New York.
Yeah, I mean, it's a southern thing. I mean, I'm from Tennessee is considered more like Midwest or not Midwest, but mid South, so to speak. Like you're not quite down in the dirty South, but you're not exactly in the North either. So, but the South, but as far as like New Orleans, that's about as south as you get, baby. It is real, like it's humid down there, but a lot of fat people because of the fact that there's a lot of good tasting food in New Orleans.
Hey, there's a lot of good food over there, that's for sure.
Oh man. So upstate New York, what are you talking about? Near Yonkers or
More Rochester area, Rochester, Buffalo area.
y'all have an excellent fighting community up there right now.
Yeah, it's a big amateur scene for sure. Like I know they're trying to dive into pro eventually. I think they're trying now, but there's a huge amateur fight scene here. And so
I interviewed this guy about a month or so ago named Dylan Conti, and he seems to be making a lot of like noise. I don't think I've ever seen the guy. I don't know if the guy's ever won a fight, but he has a pretty big, charismatic mouth behind him. And, he's pissed off a lot of people, but every time that I've interviewed about 4 or 5 people from your area, and then every time I drop that name, they're like, "Oh yeah, he ain't never won a fight, but he always talks shit." So it's like, all right,
yeah, I don't know the name personally, but like I said, there's a big amateur scene here, and I'm in the ride together. Like I watch it now as commentary and seeing them, kind of like grow into the sport and then trying to go pro. Some of these kids, which is pretty cool. But then also like usually you don't get commentary for amateur. So I like that Full Contact Promotions has brought like the pro element to these newer kids.
Yeah.
So they're not left out the gate. Like there's so many opportunities that you will miss if you don't know how to speak on camera.
Yeah.
Yeah.
As somebody who's been in broadcasting for as long as I have, as long as they take care of my travel expenses, I'd be glad to come to some of these events and commentate or do sideline reporting or something. And, it didn't matter if it's amateur or not. I would like, and I've been hearing a lot about this Full Contact Promotions. I was, when I found out, when you told me on Instagram you were doing the commentary for it, I was like, no kidding, man, maybe they could fly me out and do like I could do, sideline report or something like that. I don't know, make it look like a pro fight,
Yeah, and like I said, it's really cool for these upcoming guys because like I hate to see high level talent get their first opportunity on TV or like the UFC or the Contender Series, and their first time doing an interview is at the Contender Series, and they obviously botch it because they've never done an interview before, and so like now you're having us. Well, I have to do an interview on Wednesday, so Wednesday on Friday. They all talk to me and I talk to them about whatever their life is, what they expect for the fight, like how we do in pros. And so like now that's the first time that they get that and they're not going to be like, left behind once they finally make the push to pro.
Yeah. I will say that there are some things that they need to like prepare these guys for, even on a political side, so to speak, when it comes to the fight game. I mean, I'm not real political as far as the fight game is concerned, but at the same time, part of, and plus, you know, just the way to conduct yourself and stuff like that. That is something that I do know is about how to conduct yourself. But as far as like backstage politics and stuff like that, that's nothing I'm familiar with because I fought amateur during like the days where there was still some this kind of like almost street brawling type credibility to it, you know, so to speak.
Mhm.
So, you know, but I learned very quickly that there are some things you just don't do and just don't say.
Yeah, absolutely. And obviously you're a broadcaster, so you understand. But it goes like that. They even at the highest level, UFC, you can say Paris Lab, whatever, highest level in boxing, you could be 10-0 and not get an opportunity just because you can't sell tickets, one, or two, talk on camera. Like they will happily go with someone else other than the 10-0 prospect just because you can't talk.
Or you rock the boat.
Yeah, of course. Yeah, I've
Oh,
seen plenty of times people have their first fight, especially in Paris Lab. A lot of people don't. They don't have like the fight background, so they come on TV for the first time and they say the wrong things, and they're like, "Bye."
no, I
So
didn't know that was a thing.
yeah, it happens a lot.
Yeah. Well, I know when I first started doing I've always done broadcasting side, but when I started sitting in the press and the audience or whatever, or the press box or whatever, I remember I didn't know how to conduct myself that well. And I had to learn the hard way when I'm still banned from an organization from it. You know, I was very, you know, I'd gone to the press interview and done you know, the weigh-ins the day before, you know, they had press for it. And I was one of the press there, but then we got to park right next to the building. Well, then all of a sudden the next night, you know, at the casino, it's about the part they had closed the gates that people could get in. I'm like, hold on, I'm press. I'm in here. And I had pissed him off so bad because I was saying, no, I'm supposed to be parking right here. I thought because of being pre-impressed. And they were like, no, that was last night. Now you had to been here all day. And so I had to walk like a quarter of a mile through this big honking parking lot. and then it got back to the promotion. They said, hey man, you're gone, dude. You done pissed off the casino manager and all that stuff. And I was like, oh shoot, I learned that lesson the hard way.
Yeah. Yeah, there's a lot to it, especially like I said, even on the athlete side, there's a lot to it to the higher promotions.
Exactly. Have you ever had a chance to shake hands with Dana White yet?
Yeah, I did that like 3 years ago when I met him for the first like qualifiers for Parasat before it was
Yeah.
on TV. Yeah.
At the risk, you know, was he pretty cool or pretty chill?
Yeah, he's an awesome guy. Super super nice dude. Super busy, so obviously like when we see him it's just like for seconds.
Right.
And then he's doing his thing, but it's been nothing but good to me, so.
Are you a full time competitor right now?
Yeah, yeah. So I've been full time in pro sports for about 4 years now. So
Hey,
it's been good. So
fantastic. I'm glad to hear that. And you have a child, you said, right?
yeah, yeah. So she's 15 months, and her name's Harlow. So
Oh
yeah,
man,
now I'm more thinking of like how to step back from the combat world and kind of go from there. So
I know it. I see you representing Dirty Boxing Championship with that hat on, man. I have yet to watch one of their bouts, but I've interviewed several of their fighters.
yeah, I was on the first their first one, the one before they started doing like the TV, the qualifiers. Yeah, so I was their first one.
What year was that?
That was 2024,
Was-
November. Yeah.
Oh, okay. So just
Yeah.
the 6 months ago one,
Yeah, yeah. So
or
that
six,
was the
8 months
first
ago, whatever.
one, and then I did that right after my last like I had my 6 fights with Power Slap, and then I had the contract up. I did one with Dirty Boxing, and I got re-signed with Power Slap. So
What's your next? I see. I know you're talking about your commentary. But what's your next competitive route?
I just fought in NOLA for Power Slap. So now we're waiting. I don't know when the next one is. I would love for it to be November, December, but we'll see what they have for me. So.
Yeah, I. That's the one thing though about the power slap is that they let Robert Trujillo. He fought, you know, two in a row. Is that how you pronounce his last name?
Yeah, Trujillo.
Trujillo. You know, he fought at two power slaps in a row. But then when I talked to Anthony Blackburn, he said, "I'm not sure when I'm fighting again," even though
Yeah.
he's the welterweight champ of that division.
Well, when you're champion, you get a good idea if you're next or not based on the contenders. So like
Right.
with Rob Trujillo, they kind of knew that they wanted to do again. They had one ready, someone ready.
Mm-hmm.
Some with Blackburn, he beat everyone, so they have to like find someone. So they're gonna do some contender fights first, before he gets a chance again, and then vice versa for champions. But as for like contenders like myself, uh, once you fight, depending on the hype, you wait. It's either like a month or two, or you'll wait a little bit. So I'll just see if I'm fighting this year or not. I have no idea.
Yeah. As far as the ranking goes, if I'm not mistaken, I believe Aaron Turner was the number. No, he was like the number. There was okay. Damien DeBell was supposed to he fought the number 3 fighter, if I'm not mistaken.
Yes.
But yet the number 2, I forgot who the number 2 is, just off the top of my head. I know if you say
Nate Bernard.
Thank you, Nate Bernard.
Yeah.
He was number 2.
Yeah.
And they didn't let him fight. I think Damien, I interviewed Damien right a week before his fight. So, and he explained it to me and stuff like that. But is that common where maybe the higher ranked guys are not necessarily going to get their opportunities because they've already fought them, so to speak?
Well, yeah, yes and no. So for Nate Bernard fought the bell for a championship, and he lost,
Right.
and so then he has to kind of build himself back up. So he was supposed to fight on that card against Aaron Turner,
right,
and kind of like build back up because he's off. I think like 2 or 3 losses in a row.
right.
So he has to keep winning.
Yeah.
But they go in order, So like obviously, the bell beat number 1, he beat number 2. They had someone ready for him,
right.
But that fight fell through. So West was ready and took that fight on whatever notice was given. So.
Yeah, I mean, I saw Turner. I think Turner did win, if I'm not mistaken. The last one, did he not?
Yeah, so Turner was supposed to fight Nate. Nate got sick the day of, and someone stepped in to fight Turner, and Turner won.
Yeah, that's right. Okay, yeah, because I watched it. I've been trying to get, like I said, I wanted to get DeBell or Bernard on as well. I can't remember if I got him or not, but there's quite a few of them I've been trying to get on. The Tarantula, I've been trying to get him on for about 2 months.
Darren's nice, man.
I heard he is. I heard he's real cool, man. Like, I've talked to him on Facebook Messenger. We talked in May. He said he was going to come on. Then we talked around the time that he was fighting, and he forgot about me, and I need to write him again. Also, if I could interview one guy right now, just because of his growing popularity, it'd be Turp Daddy Slim.
Everybody likes him.
Do you know him?
Yeah. I trained him back in the day, but now like the fans and the brass love him so much, So, but he definitely has like that attitude some fighters get.
Well, he just reminds me.
Guy.
Yeah, no, I'd love to interview him. If you know any way to contact him, that'd be great. He'd be.
Yeah, you could just message him. I imagine he'll answer.
I wrote him. He hasn't answered yet, but he's got 24,000 followers on Instagram, though. That might be the reason. I don't know if he'll answer or not. I could always write him again, but I don't know. Because that's how I contact everybody is through Instagram, because I don't have your information about like where your gyms are and stuff like that. See.
Yeah.
But he's a character, man. I'd love to interview him because, he's got kind of that squirrely Southern accent, that's like, just really, energetic. But it's just hilarious to me, man. That guy, I don't know if he'll ever win the belt, but that guy's a star.
Yeah. I mean, he had the opportunity to win the belt, but he missed the weight. He won the fight, but missed the weight, so no belt.
Yeah. Well, hey, I mean, maybe he can just make the weight next time. Because what was he, light heavyweight or?
Yeah. That fight he missed by a lot, but yeah, 205. He's a light heavyweight.
Yeah. He's just a real short, stocky, light heavyweight because he's real chunky looking.
I don't know that we tend to think that's on him. I know that he has some personal issues that he's battling through. That they say that went into it, but I know that the first time he fought Wolverine, he made 205, and then the very next time he fought him, they knew he was fighting him 6 months later, right. And he missed weight by 30 pounds. So
yeah, definitely something going on there. Which Turp Daddy Slim, if you're listening, man, I love you, man, and I hope I get to talk to you one day. I actually, I had a fight that I covered here I'm in Memphis, but it was in West Memphis, Arkansas, which is only like 20 minutes from where I live. And I interviewed Jackie. I forget what her last name is.
K Caroline.
Kay Callan. Thank you. I interviewed her. She's cool, man. She was real cool.
She's real chill. Yeah.
Yeah, absolutely. And Darren Beecher, her boyfriend, he was in the main event that night. Or Derek, is it Derek Beecher?
Patrick.
Patrick, excuse me. I feel bad. Like, I interview so many people, it's just so hard to keep up with. But no, man, I interviewed him, or I didn't interview him. I watched him fight in the main event. Cool dude, man. Really cool guy, man.
Yeah, he's a really nice guy too. Like they've been nothing but nice to me. So like, I got nothing bad to say about them. You know.
I know it, and you know they looked like this, like really in shape, like I could kill you type couple. Yeah. And he was awesome. Sure. I didn't want to bother him too much because he was fighting. But then I talked to her for a sec, and how cool she was. She was awesome. So, you know, I hope to get her on one day. I could probably write her and get her because we're friends now on Instagram. But like I said, you know, I want to interview as many power slap guys. I wish I could be the power slap guy, but you know, I got to, you know, we'll work it out. So I don't want to hold you up too much longer because I know you probably want to get to bed. You're in New York. It's 9:30 where you're at. So let's promote what you got coming on. Tell me everything you got coming up right now.
So right now I got commentary this weekend for Full Contact Promotions, Raging the Cage 30 here in Rochester, New York. Okay. It's awesome time, good promotion for the upcoming fighters. It's like I said, it's really good to give them a platform to build for when they finally turn pro. So I enjoy that. And then as for my side for Power Slap, I already had my fight just a couple weeks ago, so I get to wait a little bit. But obviously, if people keep tuning in, I get more fights. So
no, absolutely. And look, I hope to do this again with you soon.
Yeah, appreciate it.
Yeah, absolutely. I'll contact you, and it doesn't even have to be. We can talk in a couple months, even if you don't have a fight coming up or anything like that. That way, we can just kind of update you what you're up to.
Yeah, sounds good for me.
All right, brother. It's good. Nice to meet you, ladies and gentlemen. That has been Duane Iron Giant. Man, I love it, dude. It was lived up to the hype inside of my head. Ladies and gentlemen, this has been the Hank Russell invitation. You know, you could have been anywhere else. I don't know why you're here, but I thank you every time you are here. But until next time, y'all have a pleasant day.